This demonstration will teach you the basics of using rtshell, such as navigating the virtual file system and connecting components. We'll begin by starting a name server and a couple of components. We'll use the console in component and the console out component. rtshell uses a virtual file system. You can navigate around this virtual file system like a normal file system using commands provided with rtshell. A very useful command is rtpwd, which shows your current location in the virtual file system. You can see that we're currently in the root directory of the virtual file system. Using rtls, we can view the files in the current working directory. At the moment there is only one, the name server that we just started. We can also see the name server in RT System Editor. Using rtcwd, you can change the current working directory, such as to the naming context directory below the name servers directory. Then we can use rtls to view the components in that directory. rtls also has a long option that allows you to see more information about the files in the current working directory. In this case, it will show more information about the two components we just started. We can see that they are there in the inactive state. The four columns give information about the ports of the components. The first column shows the total number of ports on the component. The other three columns show the number of in-ports, out-ports, and service ports. The number on the left of each column is the total number of ports. The number on the right is the number of connected ports. The rtact command can be used to change a component's state to active. This change is reflected in RT System Editor. We can also see it in rtshell by using rtls-l. Components can be deactivated by using rtdeact. Sometimes components go into the error state. I have created a component that will enter this state when it is activated. The rtreset command can move a component from the error state to the inactive state. These simple commands can be combined with each other and with other shell commands. For example, we can use the standard Unix watch command with rtls to get a continuously updating view of the state of our components. This status view uses very few system resources, and it even works over remote text-based connections such as SSH. Next we will look at managing the connections between components. The rtcon command can create a connection between two ports. For example, from the out port of console in component to the in port of the console out component. Notice that the port name is specified after the component name, separated by a colon. We can see in System Editor that the connection has been formed. If we now activate the components, we'll be able to send data between them. The rtdisk command can remove connections in a number of ways. The first is to remove all connections between a pair of ports. There may be multiple connections between the ports with different IDs and different properties, and we may only want to remove one of these. We can tell rtdisk to only remove the one matching the ID we specify. We can also specify a single port to remove all connections from that port. or we can specify just a component name to remove all connections from all ports on that component. Next, we will look at component meta information. In RT System Editor, you can see the meta information in the Properties view, such as who made the component and what its ports are. We can see the same information using the rtcat command. Some of the lines have a plus sign next to them. This indicates that we can see more information below these lines by adding the -l option to the command line. We can now see much more information, such as the port properties. When there is connections on a port, we can also see information about those connections, such as their target ports. rtcat can also work on a single port to just show the information about that port. rtcat is also capable of working on managers. We'll start a manager now to demonstrate this. You can see that in rtshell, managers appear as directories. This manager is not currently managing any components, so its directory is empty. rtcat can show much information about a manager, such as its loaded modules. Next, we're going to look at how to find objects in the tree. If you use the recursive option of rtls, you can see all the objects in the tree, but this is quite a long listing of objects if you have a lot of components. The rtfind tool is a much better option for finding objects in the tree. The first argument to rtfind is the path to begin searching in. We'll specify dot for the current working directory. If no options are given, rtfind will find every object in the tree from that path. rtfind also has a number of options that can be used to narrow the search. For example, a maximum search depth can be specified using the -m option. We can also do a case-sensitive name search by specifying the -n option. Case-insensitive search is also possible. We can specify types to limit what types of objects are found. You can use C to specify components, D for directories, M for managers, and N for name servers. There is also a zombie type. We currently don't have any zombies in the tree, so I'm going to create one now. There's our zombie component. And you can see rtfind is now able to find it. We can also combine options to narrow the search further. For example, we can specify both a type and a name to find all components with matching that name, and therefore narrow down the components that we find. If we specify options multiple times, for example, two separate names, these are combined together using a logical OR. Next, we're going to look at the rtdel command. We have a zombie in our tree, and we want to be able to get rid of it. So we can use the rtdel command to delete it from the name server. However, rtdel is a dangerous tool because it can delete anything. For example, I can delete a naming context from the name server. And you can see that not just the naming context, but also all the components registered below it are gone. This is because rtdel can delete anything in the tree. So the safe way to use rtdel is to specify the -z option, which will only delete all the zombies in the tree.